you're really overcomplicating pretty much everything that it is that you're currently trying to do. There is a saying that you should stop looking at the end result and kind of fall in love with the process, enjoy the process, blah, 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 blah. And the process is, if you are not somebody who is already in love with the process takes a little while to become in love with. It's not the most easy to love. Like if you were to think of it like a person, the process is one of those people that you really just kind of have to remind yourself every day why you like being around this person and why you love them, because you're not going to enjoy them every day. I guess it's kind of like marriage. So like being married to the process is, it's kind of what you have to do. And if you think about a marriage as opposed to say dating the process, once you get married, it's a lot more inconvenient to separate yourself from the process than it would be if you're just kind of dating the process. Once you start entangling yourself within the process, really committing, getting in there, yep, you're in it. And it's a little bit harder to back out now, isn't it now? Yeah, so you need to get married to the process. You need to find a way to commit yourself heavily to the process and stop just looking at this end result. Because right now, what is the process? That's the question that a lot of people have. I ask myself that question every day. What am I supposed to be doing? What do I need to change? What's supposed to get better? Am I doing this for nothing? Like, is this actually going to happen? See that? Step one, go ahead and nip that in the bud already, because that means that you're losing faith in yourself. And in order to be married to the process, you have to have faith in it and you have to trust it. So, step one, delusionally, just be in love with it, have faith in it, all of that. I have this little necklace, and my grandma gave it to me. I don't remember when she gave it. I think she gave it to me on my 13th birthday. I'm not uber positive about that, but somebody gave it to her on her 13th birthday, so I'm going to say that she gave it to me on mine because that just kind of sounds like something she would do. But anywho, this necklace kind of looks like nothing, but this is a mustard seed, a singular mustard seed. And there is a Bible verse on the back that I can't recite the Bible verse. Oh, I could read it though. Oh, let's see. If ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, nothing shall be impossible unto you. That was probably not a very attractive position. But basically, it's just saying, like, nothing's impossible if you have faith in it. And if you have as much faith as the strength of this, which apparently a mustard seed, you could grow like a whole field of mustard from a seed. And it can withstand crazy conditions, absolutely crazy conditions. Like, the goal is kind of like myself, with the process, get into it. You're the end product ultimately, like the life that you're going to live, the life that you want. It's you, it's your experience, your reality. So really, you're the product. So ultimately, just kind of working on yourself is the process. And it took me a while to kind of realize that by consistently doing inner work, and I'm not talking like that, I'm not trying to downplay it or anything, but just sitting there until like your past or something, like the shadow work or the issues that are blah, 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 blah. I'm just talking about like genuinely recognize whether you want to connect it and blame it on your parents, or you want to blame it on your grandparents or an ex, whomever you want to blame it on. Just blame it on yourself, because once you start blaming yourself, it gets so much easier because you're not dealing with other people. So basically is step one, delusional faith in self. Call it fake it till you make it, call it what you want, but the key theme here is that you believe in yourself, you love yourself, you believe you're the one that is going to get you where you want to go because it's your life. And then once you recognize that you're the key, you're the vessel, blah, 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 you have to really work on yourself. Because, I mean, right now you're like a mid condition, not not perfect, you know. We You might break down halfway through the trip. That's where you're at right now. And you just kind of need to realize that. So instead of just like taking off, you need to kind of sit still for a minute and say, hey, I don't need another car. I don't need to be somebody else. Like, I'm fully capable. The car will get me where I need to go. But like, we got to just kind of fix some things, make sure we're setting ourselves up for success. And that for everybody looks really different. So it's kind of hard to go into details on what that part is in particular, because for me, um, I'll use a common one because I feel like this one is something that a lot of people deal with, but stuff like food and working on yourself, I feel like is kind of like conquering yourself, and it's like discipline. I guess they all go hand in hand, but I really like to think of it as being able to truly tell yourself what to do and take over. Like in real time, when you're irritable, when you're pissed, when you're angry, when you really want to go do this, when you really want to go do that, when you can just take over and say, no, no, this is not aligning with what we're planning on doing. This is what we're doing. Boop, 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 get back on track. And then boom, we're there. That is where you can really make things happen, because we waste a lot of time in the emotional state. And a lot of what we do, I guess, is to create a certain type of emotional state. So it's like hard, like I would say maybe part of working on yourself, the common theme that I'm describing is discipline, conquering yourself. That's one that a lot of people deal with. But it kind of goes deeper than that, because maybe not everybody has a discipline issue. Um, but somebody that has a discipline issue is going to have a lot of similar sub issues that come from somebody who struggles with having discipline issues. So, like for myself, is as somebody who has struggled with discipline, I had to realize, what am I trying to get myself to do? And why am I trying to get myself to do that? So, like, one, and this is where I was getting at, the common theme for a lot of people is food. There you go. A lot of people have eating disorders. Like, most people have eating disorders and they don't call them eating disorders. I don't really understand why the word eating disorder is so demonized. I understand why, but essentially, if you break it down very simple, eating disorder, your eating is out of order. So you have some disordered eating. Most people have that. Now, how serious it is, there you go. But a lot of people like to, once they associate that, they kind of like take it as a personality trait. Been there. But once you take something like that on as a personality trait, it's kind of hard to take it off of yourself. But when you simplify what your issue is or what you're trying to do on a very, very simple level, like saying, I want to have a good relationship with food. That is, it's pretty specific, but it's also pretty vague. So like if you're like, what is the issue that you have? So like if your issue is, I'm overeating, I'm undereating, I'm blah 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 blah, maybe you're all over the place. That's what my issue was. Then really just kind of take a step back and look at it. Like, why are you all over the place? Like, are you all over the place because you're not in the mood to eat? Because you are trying to reach a certain goal? You know, are you trying to use food as a variable to, like, something you can manipulate to get a certain outcome? Like, are you trying to get skinnier? Are you trying to maybe get a little bit bigger? What's the goal here? And if you say, okay, well, mine was skinnier, and that's where I had to personally recognize a couple things. Was, okay, consistency is going to be key here. That's what everybody tells me. And eating less is also going to be key here. And if I'm going to be eating less, then I still need to fuel my body. So that's that. And now I know I'm going in on a pretty specific example, but the reason that I'm doing that is because here it's so simple. It really is. But the part that gets difficult is when you, for like in real time, when you start experiencing, I guess, free will. It would be kind of cool maybe if we could like just kind of robotically set ourselves to do things sometimes and then just like cut out the free will that we have to like not do what it is that we said we were going to do. Uh, but basically realizing that you're trying to do a certain activity a certain way, and then don't overcomplicate it, because the complication is you negotiating with yourself. Stop negotiating with yourself. Like literally, you've decided what you're going to do. Stop negotiating with yourself, because once again, the time you spent negotiating with yourself was time you could have spent doing what you should have done, and then you would have already done it, and then you'd feel better about yourself, and it's just so much easier. And really, I feel like that's kind of all you need to do, because every single person is different. But if everybody would do some like key things there, they'd be good. And I feel like a lot of people have this end goal. I feel like it's probably not that simple, but I really believe that it is, because a lot of people, I've realized, have this main goal in life of, say, making money. And so everything that they're trying to get themselves to do is in order to make money. But if you, on a molecular level, if that's a good way to describe it, are not truly 100% only wanting to make money, then it's going to be very easy to start negotiating with yourself all the time and then giving in and giving in and giving in and giving in, because there's a huge part of yourself that wants to go do other things that's not that. So you really need to be all in on that. Like you need to truly be like, what do I want to do? I have delusional faith in myself and what I want to do. How am I going to do it? I need to work on myself to do it. Let's go do it. And you might not even know what it is. Like for me, I realized that anything that I want to do, I really need to kind of just get in a better place with myself in order to go and do really anything. Because somebody who, maybe starts doing something and then they stop, or you pick up an activity and once it gets hard you're like, like that, for me, that's where like the discipline comes in. It's like, keep doing it even if it's not, fun, or it gets difficult, but make sure that you want to do it. Like I'm not going to push myself to do something that I don't really want to do, especially if I don't have to do it and I don't want to do it. My internal self is really like, yeah, no. Uh, like telling me to read a book in school was not really something I was interested in doing. So it's not really something that I did. And I still, did what I needed to do to get through my little classes and stuff. But yeah, did I suffer whatever, maybe a little bit here and there because of it? Yeah, some. But I think the bigger thing is that it didn't matter to me. Like reading that book because I was told to read that book, in my opinion, wasn't going to, it didn't really, it didn't matter to me. So it wasn't something that I was going to do. And honestly, maybe that's kind of something that I need to work on in myself, but I don't really feel like we all need to be doing the same thing. And tying back into what I was saying earlier is, I feel like a lot of people's main goal is to make money, and you're not really going to, one, yeah, do but so much in the money making department if you're not but so set on making money. But the bigger thing is that so many people want to make money so that way they can stop working. And something I've realized for myself is I grew up watching people who were, say, unemployed. And what I mean by that is stay-at-home moms and, aunts, grandmas, etc. And nothing about them was really unemployed. They worked constantly. They were pillars of the community. They were in the church. They volunteered their time. They had gardens. They have hobbies. They take care of themselves. They stay busy. And that's kind of it. It's like so many people want to make money so that way they can just be lazy and pay people to do everything for them and blah, 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 blah. And I don't know, like for me, I want to make money, but I want to do a lot of bigger things. And money is just something that has to come with that. So money is kind of like one of those non negotiable things that I'm going to have to figure out how to make, but I'm not after money. And I feel like for me, that is what helps me to fall in love with the process, is because I'm aware that the process is where I'm going to find that love for myself and that happiness. And actually getting there is almost like a measurement of how much I did that for myself. It's like how much I was able to conquer myself, how much I was able to push myself, because truly deep down, like everything that I want has a certain type of price tag on it. Everything that I want to do for other people, it kind of has a price tag on it. So it's like, yeah, make money, duh. But like what I'm going to do to get there and all of that, it's like it can't be everything. And I think I might have skipped over a few steps, but something I stopped and thought about, I guess, when it came to money is there are certain things that you can do to get like cash money like quickly, or you can, get guaranteed money. But anything that is going to be yours, that you're going to build, and that's going to be worth something that you can kind of take a lot of pride in, is probably going to be something that you're going to have to build. And it's like maybe this isn't for everybody, but ultimately, as if you want to do something, you want to do something. Like you have to understand that what you want to do is bigger than making money. And until you actually click that in your head, you'll probably only do but so much. Because when you really go out there and start doing what you want to do in the right ways, like you have to understand this whole thing of like money is just going to come to you. You do have to allow there to be ways for money to come into your life. Like you don't, I guess, just start a business that has no way for anybody to give you $1 and then expect that you're going to become a millionaire. But what I'm getting at is that if you believe in yourself and you say, this is my vessel, this is what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep putting everything into it, then you just kind of have to believe that it's going to work out. And that's the delusion. But most things can grow or become something. Like you can find a way to, especially nowadays, like document something in a way that's going to entertain somebody, package up information, slap it in a course, start a business, like truly, like a brick and mortar business, and then actually base it off of a skill that you have that you can back up. So that way, if an employee doesn't show up to work, you're not literally sitting there with your hands up in the air because you can't do it. Like, find something and do it like for yourself because you believe in yourself. And everything I said at the beginning of the video when I was like really fired up, that's kind of the first steps, like really really finding all that in yourself. uh, from there you'll kind of tell yourself what you need to do, or you'll find somebody and you'll start kind of figuring it out. But step one is just really get a hold of yourself. Stop overcomplicating it. Stop acting like you're trying to do all of these things. You're really kind of trying to do probably something that's not actually is whatever as you think it is. But yeah. And like for you, tying it all, sometimes I talk in circles, but um, the food is, if you're not going to have simple discipline with yourself to eat properly, because that's what's going to be good for you and that's how you should take care of yourself, then you're probably not going to do a very good job of telling yourself to get up every day and go do something when it's not going well. It's kind of like, when you're not making money and you just keep doing it anyway because you're just delusional AF and you just believe in yourself. Yeah, that. Or when you're in sales and you just keep making the calls, knocking on doors, or taking your video chats, and people are, slamming doors, hanging up on you, telling you to go F yourself, laughing in your face, but like, you know that it's coming. It's coming. And yeah. So find your purpose vessel, and yeah, I hope this helps. Yeah, I hope this helps.